What if I told you that in a market completely dominated by Coca-Cola and Pepsi, a small Indian startup became profitable by selling childhood memories in a bottle? No caffeine, no artificial color, no global marketing budgets, just pure nostalgia and flavors your grandmother made. This is the story of Paperboat, the brand that made grown adults cry happy tears with their packaging, that turned traditional Indian drink into premium products, and that proved you don't need to be global to be great. By the end of this video, you'll understand how they built a 300 crore empire by doing everything that beverage industry said was impossible. Let's go back to 2013. The Indian beverage market was brutal. On one side, you had global giants like Coca-Cola and Pepsi with unlimited marketing budgets. On the other hand, you had local players making traditional drinks by selling them like cheap alternatives. Walk into any store, and here's what you would see: Coke and Pepsi in premium coolers, beautifully branded as lifestyle choices. And then in the other corner, you'd find traditional drinks like Kokam or Aam Panna in basic packaging, treated like poor cousins of real beverages. This bothered three people immensely: Neeraj Kakkar, Suhas Mishra, and James Nuttall. They had spent years in the corporate world building brands for other companies, but they kept asking themselves one question: why are Indian traditional drinks treated as inferior when they're actually superior in taste, health benefit, and have cultural significance? The problem wasn't the drink themselves, it was the positioning, packaging, and the storytelling. Indian traditional beverages were being sold like commodities when they should have been sold like premium experiences. The year is 2013. Three corporate executives quit their high paying jobs to sell traditional Indian drinks. Sounds crazy, right? But they had a secret weapon: childhood memories. Instead of competing with Coke on caffeine or sugar rush, they competed on something far more powerful: nostalgia. Their product was Aam Panna, raw mango drink, but they didn't just sell it as a beverage. They sold it as a summer at Nani's house, as childhood before air conditioning, as the taste of simpler times. The packaging told stories, the marketing triggered memories. Suddenly, buying Paperboat wasn't just about quenching thirst, it was about reconnecting with your roots. Where Paperboat showed its absolute genius. They refused to position themselves as a healthy alternative or a natural option. Those positions made them sound like medicine, not enjoyment. Instead, they positioned themselves as a drink and memories. Every product came with a story. Jaljeera wasn't just a mint drink, it was Delhi summers and street side vendors. Kokum wasn't just cooling drinks, it was Goan afternoon and coastal breeze. Their packaging was revolutionary. Instead of typical beverage bottles, they created Tetra Pak that looked like milk packages we used to get in school. The fonts were handwritten style, the colors were nostalgic. Opening a paperboard drink felt like opening a letter from your childhood. But the real genius was in the copy of the packaging. Jaljeera for grown-ups who want to be kids again. Aam Panna because some things never change. Thankfully, this wasn't marketing gimmick, this was emotional storytelling. While traditional drink makers were racing to bottom on price, Paperboard did something counterintuitive. They priced their products at premium levels. A Paperboard drink cost almost as much as Coke. Industry experts said they were crazy. Indians won't pay premium price for traditional drinks, they said. Only global brands can command high prices, they insisted. But Paperboat understood something that experts missed. Value isn't just about the liquid in the packaging, it's about the entire experience. When someone bought a paperboard drink, they weren't just buying refreshments, they were buying a moment of nostalgia, a connection to their culture, and a premium experience. They sold their drinks in modern retail stores, cafes, and airports, the same places where premium brands lived. They refused to relegate traditional stores. While every beverage brand was trying to be global, Paperboard doubled down on being authentically Indian. No international flavors, no global positioning, no trying to appeal to Western tastes. Their bet was simple: if we made an Indian drink so good and so well presented and so emotionally compelling that Indians fall in love, create something truly special. The result, they didn't just create customers, they created people. Didn't just drink paper, they photographed it, shared it on social media, gifted it to friends. It became a of cultural pride. Creating great products and marketing was one thing, getting them to consumers across India was another challenge entirely. The beverage industry is notorious for its distribution complexities. You need cold chain, you need retail relationship, you need logistics that can reach everywhere from metro cities to small towns. Paperboat's approach was methodical and smart. Instead of trying to be everywhere at once, they focused on quality over quantity. They started with premium retail stores in metro cities, places like Modern Bazaar, Big Bazaar, and airport stores. They also made a crucial decision about packaging. While their competitors used glass bottles that were fragile and expensive to transport, Paperboard chose Tetra Pak. This wasn't just about nostalgia, it was strategic brilliance. Tetra Pak were light, didn't require refrigeration until opened, had long shelf life, and was much cheaper to distribute. This packaging choice allowed them to reach places where glass bottles couldn't go economically. A small store in a tier 2 city could store paperboard without investing in expensive refrigeration. 300 crore in revenue within a decade, available in over 50,000 retail outlets across India. Products in 5 different categories from traditional drinks to snacks. But here's what's really impressive. They achieved this with a fraction of the marketing budget that Coke and Pepsi spend in a single quarter. Their biggest marketing tool, word of mouth and social media buzz created by consumers who genuinely love the brand. Paperboard proves that in an age of global brands and mass marketing, there's still immense power in being authentically local, emotionally relevant, and culturally rooted. Paperboard's success isn't just about beverages, it's about a fundamental shift in how Indian consumers think about Indian brands. For decades, we've been conditioned to believe that global is better, that Western is superior, that tradition is outdated. Paperboard flipped that narrative completely. They showed that Indian traditional products, when presented with modern sensibilities and emotional intelligence, can command premium prices, create devoted customers. They proved that you don't need to chase global trends to build a successful brand. Sometimes the biggest opportunity is right under your nose. In traditions that have been neglected, in memories that have been forgotten, in cultural assets that have been undervalued. Today, as India becomes more confident about its culture and heritage, as consumers seek authenticity over artificiality, Paperboat's playbook becomes even more relevant. They didn't just sell drinks, they sold identity, pride, and connection. In a world that's increasingly global, they created something distinctly local and personal. And that's a formula that will never go out of style. The next time you see a paperboard drink, remember, you're looking at more than just a beverage. You're looking at proof that the best way forward sometimes is to go back to your roots, package them beautifully, and share them with the world.